Full morning. And if not, put it in God's hands and it'll get better. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC with the Crystal Edge technology screens, which we're still working on that site. I got to take off and put at least about a good maybe 8 hours into that site, getting it ready. Taco's trying to figure a way how to get himself positioned to be on camera, but I think he realized that he'd rather make biscuits instead. But anyway, this is the cardboard layout. It was a challenge trying to get a screen in this environment. Because again, the walls are wallpaper, gray texture walls. And definitely I want to paint on them. Because again, it's wallpaper. You're not going to be able to put it back originally the way it is, due to the fact that it has a print to it, and no paint in the world's going to put that back. So that's not going to happen. Long throw theory was, like I said, the box. We started thinking about doing fixed frames, but fixed frames, again, it's hardware I got to bring up here. It's hardware I got to carry up. I don't want to be carrying hardware back and forth. Really don't want to do that. Whatever. When it's time for me, when I get ready to leave to the next stage. That's a lot of stuff I got to take in and out. I'm going to have to pay for trucks and stuff to take it back and forth. The less I got to carry out, the better. So, the cardboard panel system was the best option. Motorized projection screens, which means we have to punch into the wall. If I decide to get two bookcases, they're going to be big. They're going to be bulky bookcases. They're going to stand out. And I got to put this motorized projector. I thought doing it that way, that would have been a headache. It just wouldn't have been a headache altogether to do it. So trying to figure out how to get this done, and the box system is actually the best option, because again, we can build a wall next to the wall with the boxes, make a nice stand with it, as you can see right there, to hold everything up. And then on top of that, stand came out nice too, because stand allows me to put stuff in the stand and on top of it if I want. For chances are probably not on top of it, because the other's a short throw. And that came up perfect. So the panel system, this is a panel system setup. That's what they look like when they're done. That's a 235.1 at 104 inches. It has a box system just like this one, and it has a panel system sitting on top of it. That the plastic panels are around 24 by 36 at 3 feet high, and 4 times 24, which is 96, is approximately 8 feet long. 8 feet by 3 feet high, which is in the range of 235.1. This one over here, I'm measuring things by boxes. Interesting. You find out weird stuff, how to calculate and add stuff up. This one over here is around, let me see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 boxes high. So the panel that has to go in here is going to be 36 inches wide by 72 inches high, which is approximately 6 feet. These boxes are fantastic because they measure out just like so. So if I were to do them the other way, pointing straight up, which I had to do on that side to get the approximate 3 feet, this one, in order for us to get 6 feet, we had to lay them diagonally to get that mark. So at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them high, they come out at 6 feet, exactly 6 feet, which I find interesting. Across, we had to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across, which is around 8 feet in length. But because it's a diagonally and sat up, it comes out at basically 108 inches wide. So we're at 72 inches high by 108 inches, which is roughly in the range of 9 feet. Depends on how you basically have the boxes going up, which is vertical, or basically going on projector world landscape. So that came out just perfect height right there. So with that being said, let me see. We would need 3 panels to complete this. That's it. That's all, 3 panels. I'm already going to start working on the paint job below, because I want this all coated in black. And I want the insides and done in white. And I want the outsides done in black, because when we put that light in there, the light's going to reflect. The screen's going to be jet black panel, all that, and it's going to have a flat rail light that's going to be called a chaser, which I found on eBay, not eBay, on Amazon. they lay flat and they have a laser system that goes through it. It's the same we're going to put on here, and they'll do like a laser trace to it, like a slow pulse trace to it. At the very top, we have about maybe a 1-inch gap up top, so we don't need that. We're going to basically put in a light up top so it reflects off the ceiling, and then we're going to put in a halo system from one end to the next, so that way we can have light shining down on top of the screen. Because I do like high powered lights on top of my screen. And the reason why I'm going with the short throw, because it's virtually impossible to do long throw in here. The desk. You see where my screen sits at? So this is my desk right here. And the screen is here, which means we attach a long throw here, it's going to clip the desk. It's definitely going to clip it. There's no way in the world a lens shifted in. It's not going to happen. The 4K projector doesn't have lens shift capability. And if I did have a lens shift projector, it still won't fit because it's still going to clip the desk. The only projector we can use in here for this setup has to be ultra short throw. So, am I going to buy the 4K? Eventually, yeah. Do we need it? No, we don't need it. The whole purpose of bringing clients in here is not to introduce them to high-powered, expensive machines. That's what we're trying to avoid at the end of the day. We're trying to avoid that if using high-powered, expensive machines. When you use a high-powered machine like that, you have to understand that if you start thinking like how much of that is coming from the projector and how much of that is coming from the screen. So that's why I tell people the wake-up call for your ultra short those setups is to take your expensive 4K projector and operate in a fully lit environment, which was intended to be designed for. Some of these projectors have a same amount of contrast, mind you, and not my contrast, but lumens. If your projector's at 3,000 lumens, consider the fact, and you're less than a foot from a wall, you have no distance stroke. There is no excuse for you to be in a dark environment. The ultra short throw we're having here will operate in this commercial environment. It's going to cost me far less than what you paid for your projector. I'll be able to fill out this screen with no problem, and I can operate in an environment where the meter doesn't read. Because we've done these before. If you can do this outside, you can easily do this on this. I did this on the 8 outside. This is an FLE technology. These things are designed different. So if you can't actually do that, then that's a big problem. That means your projector is not doing what that's what it's supposed to do. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Your screen can't do it. The screen's cheating your projector's performance. I could imagine, if I swear, if they made an artificial intelligence screen and an artificial intelligent speaking projector, the conversations that would go back and forth between the projector and the screen would be freaking hilarious. It'd be like a super blame game going on back and forth, but that's what it really would be. Because again, as I said before, I did my little walk with the Epson LS800 and Epson LS300, and every demonstration in the dark. It's a screen. Projectors work perfectly fine. It's your screen. I'll show you. This is the projector I'm picking up. Do you see the demonstration this guy's doing? Do you see how washed out his screen look? He's on a gray screen. It's a light gray screen. Now, these projectors can do up to 100 inches. He's not even anywhere near 100-inch range. He's somewhere roughly in around 60 to 80 inches. So the screen size for this projector on Projector Central can do a 100-inch, 60 to 100 inches. So he's at 60 inches right now. I can see that from the door. He's at 60 inches. There's no way in the world that's 100 inches. He'd be 4 feet by 7 feet, so it's too small. He has his curtains here. I'm gonna put a booster in here. So anyway, as you can see how the curtains are here, they're blocking. He doesn't have any lights on in the environment, and this is the best he can do because again, it's not the projector's fault. As I said before, when I'm watching demonstrations, and this is the projector I'm looking up to go by, I see the problem we have here is that he's washed out. And it's the same model I'm picking up. He can't max his projector out at 100 inches. I'm going to be over 100 inches because we usually do that. My NEC projector we're using right now does a screen size of roughly 80 inches. We can do 150 with no problem because we've done it before with the same projector in a fully lit environment. So this right here means nothing to me when they tell me, oh, your projector can only do 100 inches. No, we're going to do about 150 off that thing because we got the technology to do it. So we're not worried about that. Contrast, don't care. Screens are black. We're good with that. Screens can generate a ton of light at 2,700 lumens, at 1,000 lumens. I can operate in this environment with no problem. So not an issue for our technology to operate in maxed out environments. So not a problem for us. Color, we don't worry about that. Our screens don't wash out, don't fade. Discoloration, we don't have that issue either. So again, I have the option to get what I want. But as you can see, the projector he has, this is the same one I'm purchasing, he can't use it that way. His projector, I'm guaranteed, is not even eco mode right now. He can't use his projector this way because, again, it'll wash out. And then look at all the light that's splashing up on the ceiling. All that's reflecting off the screen. I love when they pan out and they show how much light's in the environment. There is no light in this environment whatsoever. So yeah, several ultra short throw projectors. This guy shows you where he takes cheap projectors where they're worth it. Technically, yeah, the projectors are worth it, but again, as I said before, if you don't have the proper screen, your projector doesn't work. That's the whole name of the game. You don't have the right screen, your projector doesn't work. I don't care how much money you spend on your projector. There are all different types of form sites of all different types of projectors. If your projector doesn't work, your screen doesn't work properly, your projector doesn't work. That's how it is. And that's how our selling point for our products. When our investors and people we have come in here, they're not going to see some high-end expensive machines. They're going to see machines that are basically cost less than the projectors that they have in their environments right now. That's how you impact a good sale. You got to know how to sell your product. These people coming in here, they have projectors that are probably way over the ones we have over here. Of course they do. And they have white screens in there. And they're operating in dark environments. So what's the point of me bringing them in here, put them in a dark environment, put them on a high-powered, expensive projector? What information did I just tell them at the end of the day? You're back to square one. That's where you're at. But to walk in here and to see all these screens fire, large screens at that, operating in fully lit environments, commercial environments, and then using projectors that are way cheaper than their projectors, easy sale. That's a $50,000 payment right there from the door. Because I got to do the entire, well, I'm not doing the entire building. They're doing the entire building. We just give them the paint. They have their own painting crew come in and do it. So they're going to come in from the offices. They're going to come in from restaurants. They're going to come in from all different areas where they can come here and look at the technology eye to eye, see it right there in front of their face. And yeah, they're going to look at the projectors, what models we're using, or they're going to look at all that. And they'll see that the projectors we're using, instead of the 4K, probably $5,000 projector they have sitting in their bar right now, and they can't get the screen to look right, that's why they're going to buy from us. Yeah, I told you, easy sales. Easy sales. I'm not dealing with, in this environment, we don't deal with customers. Our customer, it's a different customer base. We deal with customers online. Here, this place is set up different. It's set up to deal with companies. So when companies push you here, we're looking at 20,000, 30,000, 10,000, 5,000. That's what we're looking at a payload in a day. So I'm looking roughly to make somewhere between about, I'll say roughly to start off about 200K a week. And why do you think we're setting up these low-end projectors? We don't need that stuff. So I already did all my research. When I first came down here, I walked around through all these different places and sat down and ate in different places and checked out their projectors and stuff. Now, I didn't tell them who I was. Not at all. Just in there, just doing research. And found out the majority of the places we have down here have white projection screens and these super high-powered machines that ain't doing jack. That's the first thing a person does when they buy a projector. And they know that they're going to be plagued with a screen that's not going to be able to produce those white levels and color and contrast. Well, not white levels, that color and contrast correctly. The first thing they do is they go out and they spend the money for a really high-powered, expensive projector to fix it. And then the problem is that if you haven't seen anything better, because our company's not massively huge, it's not well known. So they think this is a fantastic looking screen. Until they bump into one of our demonstrations and go, oh, shoot, that guy got the same projector I got. Why is this screen like? And then that's when they contact us. They go through my website. They check out That's why I say it's very important to test your products. Customers just don't go to your site just to buy. The customers will go through your entire website. I do it all the time when I go to everybody else's website. I go through their entire website. They're going to check out your customer reviews. They're going to check out your test demonstrations. They're going to check out how you present your product. What's it called? Presentation is everything. When you're selling a product, presentation is everything. So they're going to back up facts. They're going to go in and check and back up facts on all your stuff before they go and buy. If they put the same rigorous process just to buy a movie chair, what do you think they're going to do when they go to your website to buy the main important thing that's going to be needed for their projector, which is the screen? So if you're not doing things right by the book, they're going to find out. They're definitely going to find out. So that's why I said this is why we're setting up for commercial, doing our commercial demonstrations in different areas, because I've watched the big boy screens and all these guys are in different settings. They're in a whole bunch of commercial settings. I was like, oh shoot, we can't just keep doing demonstrations from inside of our home. That's not going to work. We got to be out there where they're out there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm already in a commercial site setting up to bring my customers back. I'm going to be over in different locations doing these demonstrations to show you not only we can operate easily in a home, but outside in commercial environments where the serious money's at, that's where we're going to be at. You have to understand, when I'm dealing with the customer, I get an order from them, $300, $400. When I'm dealing with a company, it's a contract that goes through. Or it's a massive order, because they just don't come in and order just a couple quarts here and there, unless they're going to do a sample and they're trying to figure out exactly how this stuff works at the end of the day. But most likely, these guys are coming to order gallons. They order 3 and 4 gallons at one time. That's what they order. And if they like it, they come back and they get more. Much, much more. Some that'll come in, they'll see the technology right up front. And mind you, these are companies that have not even come into a showroom at all and looked at any of the technology, because we have so many video demonstrations. We have 11,000. I counted my videos now. We're at 11,000 video demonstrations. We have so many video demonstrations. They go in and they compare our stuff to other people and find out there's nobody matching our videos. They even go in and watch us match or better. Like, wow, these guys are freaking crazy, man. They're out there putting match and better demonstrations out. That shows the confidence level in your product. When you can put out match and betters and show demonstrations that other people can't do, and you've been doing this for years, it raises some very serious good flags on companies that'll come and go, wow, this guy over here is getting it in. I got to go check him out. Let me go call him and see what he's all about. And then you got to know what you're talking about. Can't be making stuff up off the top of your head that don't exist. Because again, as I said before, I don't know why people do this. This is extremely stupid to go out and make up things. Because again, remember, we emailed somebody multiple times asking them. If you can't reply back to me, you can't reply back to anybody else. That's why you don't make up things as you go along. Because again, this is really stupid. This will hurt your business. So long story short, they will go through your stuff. Now, when we got companies that come in here, these guys come in here, they're like, look, this is what I want. I see it right here. Okay, this stuff is working the way it is on YouTube, because I've seen it with customers. Had some customers come to the house one time, became real good friends with them. They came in and walked in. I was like, oh my goodness, it's exactly like on YouTube. Yeah, it's exactly like on YouTube. Exactly the same way. They were blown away by it. I'm thinking in the back of my head, I was like, darn it, I got to get this stuff into the mainstream. I need for people to come in and see it. And this is where the Lord blessed us to be at this spot, for us to be to set up, to bring people in to see it. So we got people we can walk in and show them the videos. But hey, not only that, you can come down to the office, come check it out for yourself. They walk in here and see these screens fired up in here. That's it. How fast can you get it over there? How fast can you ship it over? As a matter of fact, we don't have to ship it. You're right, local. So pretty much we can just have it sent over. It's different when you have somebody who sees it on YouTube, they'll buy. But I got companies that are coming in and buy 10, 20, 30 gallons of paint from us. And people who walk into the door and see this, they want as much as they can get their hands on. And then they start talking about contracts. You have investors, you have distributors. How can we become a part of this? Yeah, already from the door, from seeing the technology up front. Told you, camera doesn't do any justice. That screen we have in front of the smoke lounge, with the window, you know how much our business we get off that one surface alone by itself? A lot of business off that. Now, if you notice you went to the website and you can't find the invisible technology that's available, it's only available through PayPal invoices. That's the only way we do them. the PayPal invoices. But this is a projector I'm picking up. It's fantastic. It'll work exactly for what I need it to do. And again, like I said before, we can't run a long throw in here because of the table. The table's big. It'll clip the table. And we have seen that happen before with a setup I did, and I clipped one of my tables, which we couldn't do much about it, but there's a little piece of the table there, and that's what I don't want. So the ultra short throw is perfect. So at least we have an ultra short throw display, and we have a long throw display, which I'd rather have at the end of the day because it shows that we work with ultra short throw and long throw because it does come up. And on top of that, mind you, the same demonstrations I do here on YouTube, where I show you the black paint, black fabric, I got to repeat those demonstrations over and over again, again, and again. That's why I tell people that you have to have your stuff tested. You have to know your product because they will come through that door and they will ask those questions. I've been asked those questions multiple times. What's the difference between your product and black paint? What if I get a black sheet or a black piece of fabric? We'll do the same thing. Like literally hear this all the time, every day. In every form site I go, I constantly hear this all the time. You have to do these tests. You have to. You don't do them, you run the risk of basically embarrassing yourself really, really bad. So that's why they have to be done. So your stuff, and one of the things they'll ask from the door, do you have a guarantee? Literally, it's going to pop up, especially when you're dealing with companies and they're buying large quantities from you. What is the guarantee process on this paint? We have batch number verification. What is a batch number verification? Your product has video demonstrations showing that the product was tested before it shipped out. We got to send them all test demonstrations on the product. That's their request. After that, they're going to ask for, we need another form of guarantee showing that this product's going to work before we get it. Because anything could happen, anything can go wrong. So we have to insure them. And this is where the batch number verification shows them that your product is tested before it's shipped to you. And there you go. Contract easily established. That's what I was trying to explain. People that develop screen paint products who don't want to do these tests thought I was being rude. No. See, this is the thing you have to understand. I'm here. I'm actually here. I'm actually doing this. You're not here yet. I've experienced everything that's going on. I've been on site. I've worked with companies. I've done this already. I know exactly what they're going to ask you. These questions are going to come up multiple times in these conversations. If you can't meet the demand of what they're asking, it's not going to happen. They're not going to let you touch their building, their walls, or whatever. You can't touch anything. They're not going to allow you to do it. You have to guarantee that this stuff is going to work. Sometimes videos aren't enough. They have to come in and see it. I've had people come down to the apartment. Companies come down to the apartment, walk in and look at the screens. They have to see it. So it's not enough. That's why when I first started off and I was doing demonstrations on the digital crystal screen paint, I noticed that a majority of the people, companies, had pictures. They had nothing but pictures. I'm like, that's not enough for me. I have no idea what I'm looking at from a picture. It can be edited. Anything could be in there. I don't know. So that's why I started doing all these videos. That's where the videos started from. I did the opposite. I did a ton of videos because I figured, hey, they got to see it. And then I started doing videos on all different forms of tests and this, that, and the other. That's why we have the most tests. And any company you look up, we have the most tests. And we have tested just about everything you could possibly think of. Painted over just about anything you could possibly think of. And converted it. And we have customers to do the same thing. Same thing we do in our videos, they do in their same videos. You see customers outside with cheap old projectors, pulling up images off the side of fences, converting entire walls. Oh, I forgot I got to put them other ones up there too. I literally forgot. We did a stucco wall one time. I'm surprised that even worked. You know how hard it is to do a stucco wall? I'm talking about a stucco wall. A pink one at that. We had to coat over one time because they refused. They didn't want to. We're offering to basically just trace out the screen and then go in there with a sander and sand out that spot perfectly flat and put it in that way, but they didn't want to do it that way. I guess because of the landlord maybe. And we had to basically coat over it. But it worked. It definitely worked. I mean, it did. It worked. We used a cheap Epson projector to do it. And there was another demonstration I went on site, recorded me painting in the customer's screen. Right over there, on live. So again, like I said, same thing that I have to do. Like I said, some people are saying, well, it's camera tricks. Well, here's the problem with camera tricks. We have to do these live, and I have to do these in front of other people all the time. So there's no way to get around that at all whatsoever. Now, I walked into the carrying place. I've done dozens and dozens of demonstrations over there. I had people looking at it. How would I even be possibly to pull off a camera trick when I got other people looking at the same screen that we're painting in? How would that even work? That's virtually impossible. The smoke lounge, we pushed a 150-inch fish tank through a window. How is that possible? That's a camera trick. I got a bunch of people outside looking at it. I got the owner right next to it looking at it. I got workers inside that went outside to look at it. How would that even work? I'm curious how would that ever work. Man, I hate to bring this up, but we had to sue somebody for actually making that statement about our company. Again, you can't make those statements. The statements will get you in trouble. I told you about that whole thing about the rent, the voting machine company. That guy got sued for $149 million. Sheesh. Right now, they're taking his stuff. They actually put out a court order. I was watching it. They put a court order out to liquidate his stuff, and they're taking everything. He don't got the money to pay. He has nowhere in the world. He was price point at $50 million. He was worth $50 million, and they sued him for $150 million. He can't pay that as a virtual filer, and he can't file for Chapter 11. They won't let you do it. Oh yeah, I told you. I forgot to tell you about that. Sometimes the courts will not allow you to file for Chapter 11. You can be denied for Chapter 11. He was denied. That is going to be messed up. That's really messed up. But that's why you don't make things up that are not true. And that's what they did. They went against this voting machine company. They made some things up that weren't true. They brought them to court. They couldn't back it up, and they got their clocks clean. So you can't make those things up. You got to be to back it up, because anybody can easily just take you to court and say, hey, look, that's not true. I'll take you to court for it. And you got to go to court. That's all to it. But anyway, yeah, because that would be virtually impossible. As a matter of fact, if making that statement, I'm looking forward to painting the screen up in the courtroom and showing it all, because I think that'd be a nice demonstration to do for everybody to see. I'm going to have a ball with it. So again, virtually impossible, because again, I have other people around me. Now, when I was doing the demonstrations in my home and there was nobody else around me, this is where they thought that the rumor could stick better, because no one's around me. Well, you know, the Lord saw that. The Lord saw that nonsense where they're basically trying to taint his blessings. He said, you know what? I'm going to put you someplace at the end of the day where you're going to show them all exactly what I gave to you. And that's what he did. He stuck me out there. And when I went to the caring place, it was an amazing opportunity to go there and be able to paint my screens up and go from room to room to room and be inside and outside and do all that stuff. Then he transferred me over to another place and went over there and started doing my demonstrations over there. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to rent out a whole bunch of places this year and go around and just show off our technology. And that's what I'm going to do. So I can have a whole bunch of videos showing all the different areas I'm going to be in. I'm going to try to hit every building in Allentown if it's possible. After I hit the first 10, it shouldn't be a problem with them knowing who I am and what I'm about. So it shouldn't be hard for me to get into a building to be able to show off. There's one building I'm paying like $400 an hour. A lot of you not. It's a beautiful. The place is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It has a waterfall in there. That's why I want to be in there. I want to put ad tech through that waterfall. It's a submersible technology. So when we take ad tech, I want to be to put it on a stand, all clear, so it looks like it's part of the water, and we're going to push image right through it. It's going to be freaking cool. I can't wait to do that one. When I walked in, I saw the waterfall. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm definitely going to stick a tank. We're going to put a screen through it. We're definitely going to put ad tech right through it. So right now, let's get back to basics, because here, that's right now, it's in 2025. Right now, I got to get set up. So this is what we're going with. The ultra short, though, works better, much better, because again, you know, it's right up on top of the screen. Yes, we have a distance store projector here too on top of that, but we have to do it because we'll clip the furniture, and I don't want basically parts of the furniture showing up on the screen, and this is the best way to go with it. So this is the route I have to go. And I saw this projector. It's going to be an Epson. I'm not spending that money for that Epson. I'm going to get the other Epson projectors later when I get my showroom, because I got a grant coming in for my company. So I am going to be getting those projectors later because I want those projectors in showrooms. The reason why I want them in showrooms, I'm going to have two screens set up. One screen's going to have a gray and white screen on it. It's going to have that projector. We're going to need two of those projectors. And the other one's going to have our black technology. We're going to put them on display so people can see exactly what they're losing when they're using a gray and white screen versus a high-end projector. It proves 2 points in this demonstration, which people can come see this. It proves that, number one, that the projector is only as good as the screen it's displayed on. The gray and white screens do not work on these projectors, That our black technology is much more sufficient when it comes to this technology. It shows the importance of the Infinity 1 contrast level. what we're going to be showing up in this demonstration is not only ad tech's going to be there too. Ad tech's going to be on a portrait screen, which you're going to have intelligent AI in there explaining what I'm talking to you right now about. That's what one of my IT buddies is doing right now. He's building the artificial intelligence that's actually going to display our technology. So not only are we going to be to show off ad tech throughout the entire environment, inside and out, but it'll also have an AI on top of ad tech projecting, explaining everything about our technology. I told you, when God basically sets you up to be on the next level, he is no joke. So they can go in and see the advertising screens. They can go see the advertising screens, advertise our technology. We'll use our own technology to advertise our technology. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Knew the AI had to work for something. So yeah, that's what we're going to use it for. So he's going to set up the artificial intelligence. She's going to come on and she's going to explain everything. And the beautiful thing about it is when we do the window advertising for ad tech, she can change to different environments. Like if you have a store that sells sporting goods, she can change into sporting goods. If you're doing a movie setup, she can do the whole movie set. We put trailers on your glass or something different movies you have. But this would be fantastic around the time if Blockbusters was around. Can you imagine a logo of Blockbusters coming up and trailers coming across the glass that you can watch? Oh, that'd be amazing. Well, anybody basically thinking about setting up a, I don't know, video store, whatever, so and so and so, well, contact our 800 number and we'll talk. But anyway, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Or her coming on with a chef outfit on and showing how you can advertise your foods and your menus right through your glass. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be freaking cool. So we've got an AI that's it's gonna go in and she's going to advertise her technology on our technology. Ha! Yeah. So our next stage, once we start getting all this together, the object is to develop technology to work on much cheaper projectors. I don't care about these high-end machines of the day. Big deal. For me, they're crutch projectors for me. You buy 4K, 4,000, 5,000 projector in here. Again, anyone can run off that. I can run it off notebook paper if I want. The object is to get lower end projectors to run. We get those machines to run as we're doing right now. This costs our customers no money. And you saw the proof in the people we do business with. It doesn't cost them any money. Anybody else would have spent like $3,000 for a projector to run it. We could do it for at least under $200. How much money that saves at the end of the day for a customer, for anybody? So we're doing this. This is what we're doing. We're pushing for Pico projectors. I'm pushing to develop technology that runs on Picos. They look just like TVs on a Pico projector. You know how cheap Picos are? Super cheap. They're lightweight. I love them. I can put the whole thing in my bag and carry it where I want to. That's where we're doing that custom-built PC with the glass that's going to be coated with ad tech, so we can basically pull our projectors and game off the side of our screens, or turn off our PCs if we want. Converting tables into touch screen, drag and drop monitors that allow you to run small Pico projectors to run it. Theater on the go. It's going to be a whole setup where customers, if you don't have a lot of room, if you're living the van life, if you got the RV life, whatever it may be, if you're camping, whatever, at the end of the day, you have a high performance screen with a projector. We can literally take whatever projector we want and we can convert the technology to make that projector look absolutely amazing. We do it now. So that Pico projector by Philips, we can custom design something strictly for that projector to make that projector look insane on our technology. That's going to have a different coating. I like the portable projectors on the go because, again, I go walk around in Allentown. I see a lot of these apartment complexes, new ones with these little balconies on them. You can't take much out there on a little balcony, but a 50-inch with the projector and Bluetooth speakers, heck, that's a nice little party right there. So I like that. I'm definitely going to be doing that. They're going to be good for a number of things. I got to put the date. They're going to come out in 2025. And I'm going to have a couple of them where a few people, friends of mine, are going to be using them all over Allentown and recording their experience and experience of other people on how they're reacting to the whole portable theater on the go. We also have a gaming on the go, too, and that one comes with a RetroPie and Bluetooth speakers. So we're going to be doing those all over Allentown. So, yeah, a lot of stuff we're working on. But right now, we got to get the big cardboard screen done, get this finished, and then the next stage, get the panels in, and the screen paint that's going to be attached to this is another color version of the black technology we have over here. This is a magenta on this side. This is I'm gonna butcher the daylights out of this name. I like the name. I don't want to change it. I think it's blue. Azar? Azar. No. The color blue, Azar. Azar. I think it's Azar, Azar. It's one of them. I gotta get it correctly, but that's what it's called. I'm sticking with it. I like the name. But yeah, it's a black colored black technology, but it's blue. So there's 7 of them that we're going to be making. This one's going on this one over here. I got this game on the PS4. I'm dying. I can't wait to play it. It is an underwater kind of exploring adventure game. I thought it would look so cool on the giant screen. So that's what we're going to put here. Can't wait for the owner to come in. I've been kind of keeping everything a secret. I'm pretty sure he watches my YouTube channel, so it's not going to be that much of a secret. But for him to come and see it, but he's a busy guy anyways, always working on something. But every time he comes in, he goes, man, every time I come here, you're always working on something like that. We're always working on something. Got to finish the floor, too. The floor's got to be done because the floor's going to be converted to a giant screen. A huge screen. So I can't wait to get that done. I want to do a liquid floor. Or maybe like a vortex or maybe a wormhole. That'd be freaking cool for the floor. So that's what we're going to do with that. Huh. I just thought about something. I just sat there and spent $75 for that cabinet. I literally could have built the whole thing out of boxes and placed it right against the wall with a 235 all in one. I could have just assembled it all in one. Heck, man. I don't know, just because they just built the whole cabinet system out of cardboard. Now, like I said, I've built one out of cardboard before, and one of the things I learned that this plastic top we have here, that works fantastic for supporting. Gives it a better spine support so it doesn't sink. But I literally could have built a much bigger one over there. Nice one too. Better than that metal cabinet I paid all that money for. And it would have been attached to the screen. Oh no, brains are ticking again. I am a thinking of something that I should. No, leave it where it is. I could have set up with better LED lights and everything, man. Because the thing about it is, I could have basically built the structure, and I can cut these panels to the size that I want to basically glue them right over top. These are hot glue works fantastic for this stuff. But anyway, I could have basically hot glued panels over top of them. The cardboard's nice because the cardboard makes a base structure, but this right here makes would make the furniture perfectly because again, as I said before, this is a better structure together. Wow, I could have did it that way. I literally could have cut these aside for each one of these, like building with Legos, and could have just built right over top of them. Well, now I have to build something. But I'm curious now. Let me show you the lights out, because we got in the eco mode right now, because I need to have my projector from eco mode to give you an idea of the size of the screen we're going to be working on. Where you at, Box Boy Man? Mr. Box Boy Man. Mr. Box Boy Man. I have no idea what Box Boy Man is at. So that's the size screen we're getting. Let me bring this back a little bit. It's quite huge. That's the screen we're going for. So we got the LED lights already. I put those in already ahead of time. Underneath of that, we are going to put in, going to coat it all white because it reflects much better. And then outside, it's going to be done trimmed in black. All that's going to be all done in black with the panels, like the ones we have over here. And then we're going to put a sorry about that. So we're going to put a nice trace right through it. And then we're going to have it coated black. Same thing with this one. This one's going to have a nice trace going through it. See all that light reflecting in my environment? That's not supposed to be here. So that's the reason why I can't wait to put the black in here to make it look, just cloak it all in. Everything will be dark in here, and we'll have that pick up. And then so our LED light's much better than having washed out while the light that's reflecting off the screen. All right, now price tag on the paying for my projector, my ultra short though, the Epson, I'm actually getting it for $300. That's it, $300. It is specifications on it. It is what is my specifications? We do 1610. That's the size because it does a 1610. It is 3,800 lumens. Yeah, at $300, 3,800 lumens. It is a full 1080p projector at 1920 by 1200, which is actually a bit higher than 1080p. 1080p usually is not 1920 by 1200. 1080p by 1200, I think it is. So make sure I get this right. I'm used to using Venue. This is actually a Venue machine. It literally has Venue specs on it. 1080p resolution. Make sure I'm right on this one. 1920 by 1080p. Sorry about that. So 1920 by 1080p. This one over here is 1920 by 1200. So any projector that's a 1920 by 1200, it's called a UXGA projector. Those are Venues. Venues have those. That's why I was shocked when I looked at it. I was like, shoot, this is a Venue. I told you, only way you can find a Venue projector that is 1920 by 1200, usually you have to get the lenses. This one already has a lens on it. It's made like a regular projector, but it's designed that way. The only one I saw that had that option was a Christie had them, and Christie was worth $3,500. This one's only costing me $300. So this has a WXG on it, 1920 by 1200, 3800 lumens. And then it has 3800 lumens. If I put it in eco mode, it's at 2900 lumens. Contrast is 16,000 to 1. We don't need it. We turn it off because there's just no point in running it at all, period. So if we do this, bottom line, and the lamps on it, super cheap. The lamps were cheaper than when I paid for the, actually they're cheaper than the NEC, the one I got on the floor. My lamps are going to cost me $40. So I'm going to put a fresh lamp in there from the door. Let me see. 1600 lumens, yeah. So, and it's an LCD, three LCD, which we're using right now over here. So that's fantastic. I'm happy with it 100%. And again, it's supposed to give you 100 inches at 2 feet from the screen. We're not doing 100 inches, and we never do on these projectors. I got the Ultimate GT55 and 56, and both of them said 100 inches, and we're like, pish posh, we're going bigger than that. So my projection screen outside was 140, and the one inside was 126 inch customized levitating screen. There's ones that look like they float. I know we haven't built a. Oh, we're doing levitating in here. I forgot. We got a metro screen we're putting up over here. So it's just for the time being. We can bring it up and bring it down. It has a magnetic clip system on it with invisible strings, and it's plexiglass. I'm going to put a projector through it. I want to show off that technology, and it comes down, which means it's not going to be up there permanently. I can take it down. I found that this whole base here is all metal, so I can put 2 metal clamps here, and I can actually drop in with the invisible string this plexiglass, and that's going to have the metro, which is going to be showing like time, date, all that stuff. That's something we want to show off in some of our technology. That can come down, and then we have another stand that comes up that we can set up that has the aluminum screens, because I want to basically start selling that product too and getting that ready. So we have a lot of stuff we're working on. Once we get everything done, we can start working on the desk. The desk requires 2 projectors. It requires an LG projector, ultra short though, the one you can put in your hand, and it involves this technology that allows me to be able to manipulate the table and drag and drop objects. Now I got to put this out here real quick. Let's see. I'm going to be added in pretty soon the new color, the new black color technology. We're going to be added in pretty soon to the shopping cart. Also, too, please don't call us on unknown numbers, because I had a few people call us on unknown numbers. We listened to the messages. They were legit. They were good businesses, but we can't really do anything for you because we don't deal with unknowns. You know, if you're going to contact me, don't do the number unknown. Contact us. If you give us an unknown number, they get blocked automatically from the door. So we put in there any unknown numbers that pop up. That system blocks them right from the door. So we'll never see it at all. I just happened to pop in before the system went in and blocked it and saw it and listened to it. And I was like, okay, it's legit. But at the end of the day, it's unknown, so it went into the block category. So if you figure that we haven't contacted you back, that's the reason why, because you came up with an unknown number. I don't understand that. If you're running a company and a business, I think you would want your number to be known. So that tells us right there from the door, something's fishy. We won't touch you with a 10-foot pole. We won't do business with you. Now, some companies use unknown numbers if they're dealing with companies they're not familiar with, but, you know, hey, at the end of the day, we don't deal with companies that have unknown numbers. All right, so Pretty soon we're going to be converting this, and then on top of that, I got PC builds to do. I got to rebuild the machine behind me, so the machine behind me has to be rebuilt. I got to do upgrades for this machine because they're being swapped out for i7s, i5s are going. That has to be done on these over here. And then I have paint jobs to do on this side, paint jobs on that side. I finally got my paint in to work on my hard drive, and I got to finish doing the crystal frost for this over here, so it gives it more of a more frosted look to it. So that I have to do also. Look at that, gone. Jeez. That's why we don't use them. That's why we can't. And on top of that, painted over the boxes were nice at one point to show up the stuff, but the panel system is much, much more smoother, much better what you can do on the panel. But anyway, yeah, this is the new color I got in for my PC. I needed something really, really light. So this is the one we're using. And this is going to go over all of this right here, paint all this in, and then we go back over top of it. Before we do that, we paint this in first, and then we go back over top of it with a glow. And then over top of that, we hit the clear caulking over top of that. So you can see right through the clear caulking, you can see the color, and you can see the glow push through. That's the effect we're giving off. So I'm still adding it into the case. Still more work to do. This is going to come out pretty soon. And I'm going to install in the LED lights for that. But that's just for the time being. This has to be rebuilt, because something went wrong in here. So I found out my motherboard was defective. When I went to contact Amazon, I couldn't find the owner anymore. The owner wasn't there. The shop wasn't there. Amazon knows they weren't there. They sent us back the money. We ordered a new board. Ordered the same one I got for this one, which is over here. So this has to go, because this is only 8 gigabytes. They have to go. This is going to be 16 pretty soon. Later on, we'll do 32, but right now 16 is actually more sufficient. The liquid cooling system's good because we got the new RGB controller, which I think is back there somewhere. I think it is back there somewhere. And we have to, what are we doing? Oh, power supply on this one's good. Power supply on this one's got to be taken out, but we'll do that when we get the graphic card for the 3050s for both of these. And the switch, I'm gonna get rid of the switch and get one of these. I like the switch much better. I gotta ice this thing too, so it looks like it's made out of ice. But yeah, I gotta get the switch for this one. I'm gonna put it on this one. Just right here, I didn't like that switch. It's so flimsy. It's very flimsy. Look how thin the wires are. That's just asking for your stuff to get snapped. So yeah, it's not gonna work too. I'm getting rid of that. I have to remove. I'm looking at this. Why is this? I have to remove this off here to put the CPU in. Both of these have to be taken out. Remove, clean down the thermal paste, put the CPU i7s back in, and get those finished. And that's pretty much it. But this has to be definitely rebuilt. So, not a biggie. Easy McCheesy. Usual stuff, that's all. Usual stuff. That's pretty much it. I don't hear somebody contact me ranting about, oh, but you're, and we've been through this conversation already. This is why you're automatically blocked off our communications. You can check my IT buddy for that. There's no point in having that conversation at all, period. It is what it is. You know, you gotta have people in denial. That's what usually happens. People go in denial with stuff. They don't want to accept it. Then when it pops up and happens, they don't say nothing at all. You hear nothing from them at all. I'm going to go in and figure out how much it costs. I'm going to call Best Buy. They got the PS5 Pro. I want to know how much this thing is going to cost. Now, it's going to be different in different states. Everybody got different prices. How much is it cost? They said $700. Technically, you're not paying $700. Unless you're not paying tax. You live in Delaware? If you live in Delaware, yippee-ki-yay. But if you don't, guess what? You're paying tax. So you're really not paying $700. You're paying much more than that. It's not going to be $715, $717, like $760 is what you're going to pay. Taxes are high. $760. So technically it's not $700, it's $760. If you get the stand, girl, stand's $30. So and then with tax on top of that, you're $800 now. You get that disk drive on it, that's another $80. And then with the tax on that, roughly you're $900. So I'm gonna roughly see how much this would cost. Contact Best Buy, I'm just curious. Because I realized that when I first bought the Xbox 360, when I bought the, not the first one, I bought the, I bought the arcade. I bought the arcade. And I'm thinking, okay, they said it was $300. When they came out, there were $300. I remember that. When I paid for it, it's $300. And I went down to go pick it up, and my price came to $350. And I'm like, $350? I mean, I had the money on me, but still, $350? It was a tax. You gotta factor in the tax. Now, mind you, that's the Xbox 360. I think roughly 340. I'm gonna go with 340. That was back then on the 360. Imagine what you pay now in taxes. So there's no way in the world. Matter of fact, should I have that there? I'm curious. It's off topic, real quick. How much is the PlayStation 5 Pro with tax? Depends on how much taxes you're paying within your state. Somewhere, I'm over in Pennsylvania with sales tax. See what it cost me out here. Yeah, you're gonna pay that tax. You're definitely gonna pay it. So you have to understand that. I gotta pay taxes on that freaking 5090. I ain't even want to think about that right now. I'm still trying to figure out if this thing is gonna cost in the 2000 range. Isn't that interesting? You got people with the console systems that are complaining about a $700 console system, and I'm on PC. I'm paying $2,000 for a graphic card. Hopefully, can pay $2,000 for. I'm hoping I can pay $2,000 for it. Hoping. Chances are it's probably gonna be around 25, maybe $3,000. This thing better be worth every penny. It better be worth every freaking penny, I swear. It's most no, wait. No. We got the 2011 server board. That thing was really expensive. That was like a $10,000 PC bill. The 2011 server boards were expensive. Imagine putting in 256 gigs of RAM, not everyday RAM, PC 3000 OC, overclocked RAM, into a system that takes 256 gigs of RAM. You know how expensive that gets? That's super expensive. That's why some people sit there and complain about the M2s. Man. Oh my goodness. This is when you're building future PC. A PC that's designed to be future-proof. You have to spend that kind of money? No, you really don't. But if you're building the PC, but you really don't want to upgrade it, you don't want to be going there upgrading crap at the end of the day. You know, be done with it. I'm the type of person, just be done with it. You don't have to worry about the building. I'm building this stuff for fun. These are just fun PCs right here. You know, they don't cost a lot of money. They're like $500, $600. Sometimes one might be $700. They're not expensive machines. These are fun PCs to build. They can run all the application and fun games and stuff to a certain degree. But if I'm building me a hardcore machine, an elite screen, then you're talking about some serious money here. That's why I said when I saw people up there spending freaking $3,000, $4,000 for the anniversary edition, that is a tee. Why would you even do that? Seriously. Unbelievable. You've literally spent, if you spent $3,000 for that machine, or $2,000 roughly, you spent what could be the price of a graphic card. And at that, you can still, if you weren't going to spend the money for that graphic card, even if you had a 4070 or 4080, you still wouldn't be able to build a PC, much less than that. Gee whiz. What the freak? Who is total cost and where is this coming from? You gotta be kidding me. So, I don't want to make this about this, but I like talking about games, as you see before. I got time. I'm gonna come back in and talk about this base price, because I have people got mad at me about, oh, it's not gonna be $900. It is gonna be $900. If you're lucky, it'll be $900. Let's put it this way: if you're lucky. Because I have never seen, no, I'm just going to go back and do it. I'm just going to talk about this. You're going to pay $900 or more. Them parts are expensive. People who build PCs can tell you from the door, the parts are expensive. Look, your graphic card is the equivalent of a 4070. That's a $300 card for us. Your system costs how much? $700?
So that's $400 right there. I got $400 left out of that 300 that just ripped out of your machine. That's what they cost. So again, as I said before, the parts that you're putting in the machine are expensive. So again, you're going to pay that. So let me get this straight. How is it going to be possible that they're going to take the PS6 and make it lower grade than the Pro PS5? Because you see how much money that thing cost to build. It was $700, right? The other one was the anniversary edition, but they added in a few stuff, and that was $1,000, and we don't count that because they added stuff into it. But let's talk about the Pro. It was $700. That's the price point of this thing, right? So how in the world are you going to make the PS6? You're going to make it with the same parts? Because that doesn't sound like next gen to me. Or are you going to make it basically with more advanced parts, which again are going to cost you more money? The reason why you ended up with an 825 hard drive is because if they put anything more in there, it would have tilted the price to much higher than the $500 or $400 price range you were supposed to pay for. That's why the hard drive they put in there wasn't a really big boy hard drive. If they put that part in there, it would basically have to charge you more money because, they can't give you stuff for free. It's a business. So with that being said, we do it. But as I said before, your system, there's no way in the world. Come on, man. I don't know who in the world believes this dumb Peter Pan nonsense in the day by saying, oh, well, guess what? The next gen system's going to be cheaper. How does that even freaking work? It works nowhere on anything. They bring out a new LG refrigerator. Okay, it's like freaking like $900. Then they bring out another version. It's got a screen in it. You can go on Wi-Fi. You can order your food. You think that thing's going to be cheaper than the previous version? It didn't have the screen. No, it's going to be more expensive. We see it with cell phones all the time. Apple does it constantly all the time. They'll bring out a phone and then they'll charge you this much money. But then they'll bring out a phone and they'll put something else on it that's other than the other phone doesn't have. And they'll charge you more money. They don't charge you less. Would they ever charge you less? I've never seen that ever happen in anything, in cars, in houses, even in food. There's a difference between a hamburger and a hamburger that's Flame Beyond. There's a difference between the two. So there's no way in the world that's going to happen. Everybody knows the more money you spend, the better stuff you get. That's how it works. So there's no way in the world they're going to bring out a PS6 and charge you under the price of a $700 system that was much more advanced than the next gen system that came out that was actually at around $400 to $500. Not going to happen. So brace yourself. Get ready to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Because when this 6 comes out, the 6 is going to be far more advanced than the one you just saw. And the sticker price is going to blow your socks off. For us and being in the PC world, we're used to paying for these parts. We complain, we do. But we still pay them. For instance, let me clear this up for you a little better. The price for the 4090, is the price for the 5090 cheaper or is it more? I wish it was. That'd be nice. Heck, to get a 5090 cheaper than a 4090, that would be amazing at the end of the day. That means, I don't have to just spend probably about $2,000, maybe $1,800, $1,500, maybe $1,200. That's all I would have to spend. But no, the 5090 is going to be far more expensive than the 4090. This is what's going to happen to your console system. When the 6 comes out, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Get ready for the sticker shock. Get yourself some smelling sauce because you're going to pass out. Those of you in denial. The other half that already know this is going to happen, they just know it's going to happen because we know that's how it works in the real world. For the other half, it's like the guy who contacted me, I know you're in the room right now, who said, oh, there's no way in the world it's going to be $900. What freaking delusional bubble do you live in at the end of the day? Yes, it's going to cost more. It's definitely going to cost more. Because that'd be backwards. That'd be the most backwards thing they've ever done. They're like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. This is supposed to be the 6, and this has my system here has the same specs. Why would you even buy it? What would tempt you to even buy it? First things on top of that, the architecture structure of the game itself. How would they be to develop more advanced games for a system that has old architecture structure as the previous system had? How would that even work? That's like trying to run PlayStation 1 games to run perfectly on a PS5 and get the same graphics. You can't get the same graphics. The architecture structure of the hardware in that machine is completely different. So how are you going to pay next-gen games on a system called PS6 versus a system PS5. If you can sit there and say, "Oh, it's not," no. Look at the PS5. Look at the upgrade version of the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. They're completely two different systems. Literally, that system is so different. The games on the PS5 don't even play the same way on a PS6. I mean, PS5 Pro. The PS5 Pro has a special option that allows you to optimize your game to give it the advancements to play better on the hardware that is utilized to use to make your games look better. So with that being said, when the 6 comes out, if the 6 is going to have more advanced hardware, it's going to be the same scenario. Ta-da! There you go. Look at it. And got people in the room that people in the room that can't handle the denial stage. I just burst your bubble. Yeah, that's how it works. You should know that by now. You've been on this planet long enough to know that if you go buy something, there's always an upgrade version of it. An upgrade version always costs you more money. I don't know how you've been on this earth this long and don't understand how this works. Everybody knows this. For the fact that I'm even breathing this out of my mouth and making this statement in the day is completely stupid because everyone should know that. Everyone should know that. There's a difference between the two. There's a difference between this bottle of wine and this bottle of wine. This bottle of wine has been around since what? 1989, and this one's been around since the 14th century. What do you think is going to cost more? 14th century bottle of wine or 1989? This one's going to cost more money. The difference, you always pay for the better. The better will always cost you more. Always. Wait, I can't really say that because we do that. We don't charge more for our technology, and our technology is better than the rest. So I don't know about that one. No, just serious. When it comes to technology, it's a different story. We don't develop engineer technology like this stuff. Yeah, it's always going to be an upgrade for better when it comes to upgrading. Always. And the format can't be the same. And I don't understand how people who call themselves being tech junkies don't understand this, because if you look at the format of reel-to-reel, do you see reel-to-reel actually being used on technology we have today? When was the last time you bought a reel-to-reel player to run in your home theater setup? People don't even use DVDs anymore. You have some people you find having DVDs. Well, man, you're still using these relics? That's literally what you would say out of your mouth. Like, wow. Walking in, somebody's got one of those tube TVs, has a back so big on the back of it. Looks like the front end of a Honda. Like, whoa, man, you still got one of these things? You don't have the flat screens anymore, you know what I mean? Somebody's walking around with one of them old cordless phones with that metal antenna sticking out of the back of it. Like, whoa, man, I haven't seen one of these in years. Who? You see anybody walking around with brick phones anymore? The bag phones? No, because everything's upgraded. Can you use that phone on the same cell phone connection that you have today with Verizon or AT&T? No, it won't connect. In no way whatsoever won't connect. So again, if you're going to bring out the PS6, there's no way in the world that system is going to cost the same or under that Pro. Not going to happen if you're expecting better parts. So what they did was, I think what they did a little test run. Curiosity. We add some extra parts to a machine. This is this theory. And let's see how much we can charge for it and see if they'll pay for it. Test run. See if you'll pay for it. Now they launched that machine at $700. People ranted over it, but did they buy it? They did buy it. Every single person who sat there, and well, some people didn't buy it, but few people stuck by their guns, but the other people who sat there and said they weren't going to buy it, they bought it. You know why? Because they get views off of it. That's why the machine gives them views. So why wouldn't they buy it? So they bought it, got the machine and everything. They still made their money at the end of the day. So it was a test run to see if people would buy it. So guess what the next test run is going to be? The next test run is going to be you're going to have a machine tilting at, I say, roughly 900 or more. And if tax hits that thing, and it will, you're talking about roughly $1,100. Yeah. And you still won't be to go in and tamper with what you want to touch. At the end of the day, you'll only be directed to go in certain areas. That's all you can do. You're still going to pay for an online subscription. I'm going to tell you something. This is where it's going to get really sad for console. I'm sorry, we don't consider you a console. Because console was only considered you a console. You're mixed. You're like a cyborg. I told you before. You're half human, half machine. You have like this multiple personality complex disorder, this split personality complex going on, where you feel that you're still human, but yet you're machine, and yet the machine part thinks it's human, the human part thinks it's machine. It's just a mess going on in there. So you have these parts in there, but you don't identify as PC. Now, I've had this discussion before. If you're saying you identify as PC, why are you paying for online? Because we don't pay for online. And we don't identify you as PC. We say you have PC parts. You do. But you're not PC. And you want to consider yourself to be PC, but you're not. We're going to a long topic. I'm going to come back with this.